Hey guys, welcome back to The Cut. We got a solo episode for you guys today. Brad's out finishing up side dressing, and I want to bring to you what we've got going on with our soybean in-furrow trials. So as you guys know, last year we did some experimental products. We saw really good success out of it, and I've actually made it our standard program for up here. But as per usual here at Cross Creek, we're never satisfied with just sticking with one thing. So we've got 5 different trials out this year. Some of them are pretty similar. Some of them are completely different. So just kind of want to go through it. So our in-furrow field was planted the 12th of May this year at our standard 9 gallons per acre. We do have a control in there. So we'll go ahead and get started with what we're looking at here. Program number 1 is what many of you are familiar with. That is kind of been our standard up until this year. That's our ignition, accelerate, rev up, as well as the new tech. So that's your NPK blend, as well as your enzymatics, as well as your inoculant. So as you can see here, this is what was typical of it. We get some really good early growth. Root structure seems to go down more than fan out. With this field, actually all of these plants here are at the second trifoliates. As you can see here, the third on some of these is opening up. So I'd say by the end of the day today, we'll be at third trifoliate on all of these. So we've had really good success with program 1 here. One thing to note, we've seen in years past and we're seeing again this year, is that really there's no nodulization starting yet, which is it's not ideal. We don't really like it. It's one of the reasons why we feel like some of these new programs are more beneficial, bringing more ROI to you guys. So we can kind of look at it. Actually, we'll just go down the line. So program 2 is kind of the new standard around here. It's our pH max, Humica, Exceed, and the new tech inoculant. That will be kind of the one constant throughout here, is that inoculant. So above ground growth wise, then again, this is a lot of what we saw last year, pretty similar in height. One thing to notice is your first unifoliates, or your first true leaves here, as well as your petiole length, seems to be a bit longer between program 1, program 2. At this point, does that really mean much? I don't think so. But what really does mean something right now is the nodulization. So we're getting really good nodulization starting on our main taproot. There's a few on our lateral branches, but not a lot yet. That brings us to our control. We can't hit it home enough. There's a reason that we put in-furrow on beans as well as corn. It's building that solid foundation. It's the base to get everything else going. And as you can see here, this is the same growth stage as all the other programs. Noticeably behind in vegetative growth as far as just overall stem length or stem diameter, petiole length, leaf size. The taproot itself is about the same length as all of the other programs, but that's really all that's there. We're not seeing that those lateral roots really go down. Also, no nodulization to speak of yet. So although this is the same growth stage, as you guys can see, a lot better sunlight interception, a lot better nutrient water uptake with all of these other programs. Program 3 is what we're really excited about. If you guys saw our video that Brad and I did on the corn in-furrow, we talked about our new experimental product that will be a truly in-house Cross Creek developed product. That is what this is. So this is going to be essentially just like program 2, although we've taken the Humica out of it and we've put our new experimental product in. The Humica, just a humic acid, we use it for a lot of things. But with this one, we've got some NPK, although it's a very low dose, there is some in there, as well as some extracts, some hormonal, some cytokines, and things like that to really help with early season root expression, as well as just, tolerance to, the cold, the disease, all of those things that those, really those plant growth hormones do for us. And as you can see here, by far the biggest kind of just plant itself, above and below ground. Really a really good looking root structure here, really fanning out. Nodulization on the main stem as well on these lateral branches. So time will tell, but I'm really excited what we're seeing with this on the beans and the corn both. Program 4, this one's really interesting. We kind of tagged this the high yield program as truly an experiment. Honestly, it's probably not going to be economically feasible, but we said, what will happen if we throw the kitchen sink at it? Everybody thinks that, the more products are in a mix, the better it's got to be. Honestly, what I think we've got going on here is just there's too much going on. We've got our new product, we've got Humica, we've got Nano Zinc, as well as Exceed. Essentially a little bit of everything mixed together. As you guys can see, it's not bad. It's definitely better than the control. But as far as, program 1, 2, 3, or 5, I would say it's not as good yet. There is some nodulization starting, but overall plant mass a little bit smaller, root mass a little bit smaller. And program 5 is another one that we're pretty excited about. So program 2 and program 5 are essentially at the base the same thing. Program 5 has truly a live microbe added into it. So as you guys know, here in the years past, we've kind of gone away from the live microbes. It's still a hot topic in the industry, but there's so much variation on, why it works, when it works, how it works, especially when you get into the multi-species mixes. We were kind of approached by a company this year that wanted us to do some testing for them. They share a similar vision than us, as well as they're taking their products down to a single species strain. So that's what that is. This is a single species microbe. So if it does in fact, do better than program 2, that'll be the only difference of that one species in there. So we can really dial down and say, are these live microbes truly working for us? Is there a place to add on to some of the things that we're already doing? So that's all I've got for you today. We will revisit this field in 3 weeks or a month from now. But if you got any questions, reach out to Brad or I, and thanks for joining.